Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Mandalorian Season 2, Trailer 2, and doing a breakdown of what we saw. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. Greetings, Exalted Ones. Greetings to all you Jedi, Padawans, and younglings out there. This is Star Wars Coffee, covering everything you need to know about the latest developments, news, and leaks in Star Wars, and as always, giving you my analysis. The Mandalorian Season 2 debuts October 30th in just 10 days, and we have finally gotten the next bit of footage we can hear and take a look at and dissect. And essentially what I told you to expect in the What to Expect in the Mandalorian Trailer Tonight video is that you shouldn't have expected anything outside of the core characters that we've already met from Season 1, which is exactly what happened. There was no Ahsoka, there was no Bo-Katan, there was no any of these characters that we're all expecting. There was no Timothy Oliphant, there was none of that. It was essentially focusing on the core characters. Moff Gideon wasn't even in it, as a matter of fact, considering he was just a character in the last couple of episodes of Season 1. So it really focused on Greef Karga, Cara Dune, the Mandalorian himself, and Baby Yoda the child. So what you can expect to see in episode 1 is probably a lot of the same footage that we just saw in this trailer. So let's take a look at it, go through a breakdown of it, and then I'll give you a summation of what all of this is. So we start off with the Razor Crest being followed by a couple of X-Wings. You see some new footage of Mando, you see the Razor Crest taking a rough landing, and then we have this streaming October 30th, which we already knew, and then this part of the trailer is essentially kind of what I was expecting, a tease for Boba Fett, kind of like it was in Chapter 5 of Season 1, where we saw the figure, likely Boba Fett or Timothy Oliphant's character, walking towards the individual laying there, and I thought this would be an echo to that, but it turns out that based on the footage alone and based on what I've seen thus far, it really just looks like it was Greef Karga coming up, and that it was not a tease to Boba Fett or anything like that. So that was some of the new footage we saw mixed in with the old, and now we have some of Greef Karga and Cara Dune, which we've been seeing since the first trailer we got. So this takes place on Navarro, remember, because that's where they both are, and that is where they stayed at the end of Season 1. You can see Greef Karga now has a gray beard. Whether that was just a stylistic choice, it was black in Season 1. So that's probably just a stylistic choice, so I don't think that really has much impact on it, given the fact that there's not really much of a time jump between these seasons. So we see some new footage continuation. We have Mando with the child, and he is asking Cara and Greef Karga for help trying to locate the child's belonging. And then we have good handshake between the two, and then we have some more speeders. And here's something really interesting. Over the trailer on the voiceover of this, when he's working on his ship here in the Razor Crest and all of that, you had this voiceover saying that, you know, essentially he's looking for more Mandalorians, which I was taking that to mean I immediately thought of Bo-Katan, which we know is going to be in Season 2, played by Katie Sackhoff. That's been confirmed by several outlets like The Hollywood Reporter and Variety and all of that. And Katie Sackhoff is going to be playing Bo-Katan. You can check out a couple of the other videos on the channel if you want to learn more about Bo-Katan, and I have one coming up here in a couple days if you just want to wait on it. But what essentially this means is while he's working on the Razor Crest, during the voiceover, he's looking for more Mandalorians. Because you remember at the end of Season 1, that was a bit of an issue by the end of it, with Moff Gideon kind of destroying everything. And so he's looking for more Mandalorians. He's trying to figure out what to do, where he can go for help, and look for everything. So then we see the Gamorreans wrestling. We have the same trip, but we have a different voiceover line in this. So wherever he goes, I go is the voiceover line this time. This is a new footage, a bit of a new footage, a bit of a tweak here. And then we see he actually uses it, and we get to see that footage, which is pretty sweet. That's a returning trick he likes to use. And then we have this transport taking some stormtroopers on some speeders and just destroying those with Cara Dune. And here's something important to take a note at as well. What you can see in this is, if you go quickly, you can see on the right of Cara Dune, you have the Mithral which we saw from Season 1, Episode 1. That was in the pilot of the show. And this is a bit of a same footage from the teaser, but you just get a little extended look at Kara being happy at the end of it. Greef Karga, Cara Dune, and the Mithral. So, unfrozen from the carbonite he has been released of it, and so expect him to play some type of role in Season 2, even if it is just for another episode, because some of the Mandalorian Season 2 merchandise and promo includes him as a cardboard cutout that you can display. So that is part of that. And so they're clearly taking out these stormtroopers on these speeder bikes, and then we go to Mando back with Greef Karga, taking a look at Cara Dune. So that shot with Greef Karga right in the front that mainly showed Mando's helmet, that's from the same part of the Navarro exchange that they had earlier. And then we have this image of Cara Dune again, and then we go to the child, so it's then character development, and then it goes and it plays to more of the TV spots and the teasers that we've seen thus far, where you have Greef Karga, Cara Dune, and the Mandalorian. And what you can expect is all of this footage, and this is essentially, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I said I would summarize all of this at the end, but essentially what all of this teaser and this trailer is taking likely what they did in Season 1, and that is taking all of this footage, maybe a couple of stills here and there, a couple of few seconds from episodes that aren't going to be Episode 1 of Season 2. In Season 1, if you recall, most, if not all, of what we saw in the trailers was from the first episode. It was just a big teaser for that. So essentially I expect the same thing to continue here. And then you have Greef Karga shooting, and then you continue to have them. After he asks them for help, you see the TIE fighters, which likes to suggest that Moff Gideon is somewhere in here. And this is the closest nod we get to Moff Gideon, which would be him trying to outrun these guys. So you have the three TIE fighters. Moff Gideon is likely in one of them, because remember, Mando doesn't know that he didn't kill him when we saw him come out with the Darksaber. And then you add the end there with the Disney Plus logo finishing. So that is our breakdown of the second trailer for The Mandalorian Season 2. Like I said, I would highly expect most, if not all, of this footage to take place from the first episode of the show. Maybe part of what we see on Elam is from another episode, considering he's repairing the Razor Crest, so maybe there's the first couple of episodes within there, but I highly expect that everything that you're seeing of Greef Karga and Cara Dune is from Episode 1 of Season 2, where he goes back to help and asks them about Navarro. Well, not ask them about Navarro, but ask them to help him on Navarro. And this likely indicates where the rest of that footage with them coming from is Cara smashing them from the speeders. I don't understand yet while they're unfreezing Mithral from the carbonite, but it'll explain it, I'm sure, as he probably has some type of information that they can use. But let me know what you guys think about this trailer in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching, may God bless you, and the Force be with you always. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it!
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.